What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. We got week 4 Bills at Las Vegas. I almost said Oakland, actually.
The Raiders.
The Raiders.
Whoa! Road trip! Take it off! Vegas! Vegas, baby! Vegas! Get her done!
Bills are 3-0, heading to Las Vegas, who are 2-1. Should be a great game. I think they match up pretty well. We'll give our predictions at the end, so stay tuned for those. Let's go. Welcome back to Amateur Hour Sports. I'm Trent with my co-host Jake. Look at his numbers. His numbers are insane.
I just have to say, never go all in on the Raiders.
And as you just heard in our intro, Dino says, never go all in on the Raiders. So will you be going in on all in on this Raiders team this week?
Absolutely not. No, absolutely not.
How do you think the Bills match up against them?
Yeah, I mean, I think we match up well. They're out with a couple key people on defense, and I don't know. I don't know anybody on their team who can lock Stephon Diggs up, right? Like,
yeah,
I mean, I'm just thinking. I don't see like they don't have like a cornerback one like the Rams did, and I think that this should be a step down defensive line wise from the Rams, so he should have some more time to stand in the pocket and not have to make so many wild plays like he did last week. So I think this is a good matchup. It's going to be more of like how Josh played in the first 2 games. If I had to predict, he's going to be a lot more comfortable, and I expect him to have a big game. So that's my preliminary. What do you think?
Your overall? Yeah, no, I agree. This definitely is not the Rams team that we just played. I think they have some pieces, but overall it's a really young roster when you look at running back, receiver, that D-line, secondary even. I mean, just like honestly everywhere. They're a pretty young team. But as far as this game goes, I mean, they will definitely be better than the Jets, and I would assume the Dolphins. Because they did beat a New Orleans Saints team a few weeks back on Monday night, week 2, I believe. Granted, the Saints were out with Michael Thomas, but they put up a good fight against them, came out with the win, and they played a tough New England Patriots team last week. They've played some good teams, and they're 2-1 so far. So if I'm a Raiders fan, I'd be pretty optimistic going into this game.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Bills are one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now, so I think that's maybe where my optimism would halt. Is facing a red hot Josh Allen.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have to be way more concerned about our team than we are of them. I mean, they're definitely have to play their best game. The only thing that kind of concerns me though is the Saints travel to Allegiant Stadium is what it's called in Las Vegas for the opening one. You know, they might have that home juice. I mean, that's a big win for your first game at your home stadium. So we got kind of like think about that. And then when we were talking with the boys from One Before I Die, excuse me. And they brought up the, being in Vegas and the whole like aura, like all the distractions that can come with that. So, we got to just kind of be mindful of that.
So let's run down that injury report.
Yeah.
We'll start with the Raiders. Some notable guys is pretty much this whole entire list. Jonathan Abram, starting safety, he was limited. Damon Arnett, one of their cornerbacks, did not participate. Trent Brown, their big left tackle, did not participate. Brian Edwards, wide receiver, rookie, did not participate. Henry Ruggs, receiver, rookie, did not participate.
Yeah.
And then, you got, I think a lot of players are banged up. Like Josh Jacobs is on this. He was a full participant. I'm sure he's going to play. Same with Darren Waller. But those are a lot of significant injuries for the Raiders. And if you're the Bills and they're without, Brian Edwards is probably when healthy. They're one of their best receivers already. Like I saw some highlights. The dude's a baller.
Yeah, I mean, my big one is Josh Jacobs and Trent Brown. Brown being injured though, I mean that's a big loss. That's your left tackle right there. So I expect Jerry Hughes to come out, Epinesa to maybe have a breakout game, and Damon Arnett on cornerback because I mean he was guarding the number 1s and number 2 guys rotating on and off for the past couple games, and he was getting exposed, man. Like, it's kind of like good for him that he's out or might not play, because he would probably get exposed.
Yeah. And also, I should note, they just put Richie Incognito, former Buffalo Bill, on IR, I believe, this past week. So I guess going back to the O-line, yeah, there are significant injuries on that Raiders O-line. So let's run through the Bills report real quick. Just head it up. So John Brown did not participate. Deion Dawkins did not participate. Micah Hyde also, and Quentin Jefferson all did not participate, which are significant names on there. Especially, I mean, Deion Dawkins finished the game, so we can assume that he
I think it'd probably be a veteran rest day, maybe.
Yeah, probably just, I mean, he did get banged up and he left the game for a couple plays, but just to get him back, to finish out the game, I think he's probably a good sign. John Brown, though, did leave mid-game. He's definitely concerning. And the other guys, Micah Hyde, and Jefferson, they did finish the game, I believe. But to see them not practice, it's something to talk about.
Well, that was that. I mean, I also brought that up after the game about Micah Hyde. How I just every game I feel like he has like a permanent stinger, every game. Yeah. And I think that'll probably definitely be a veteran rest day that today's practice. So I don't have an issue. And with John Brown, it's concerning, but with Gabe Davis playing the way he did last game and kind of like stepping up and being that like solid guy for the number 2. And, showing that his catching ability, especially on that long corner route and then that touchdown catch that he had in Miami. Like, I don't really think there's too much. Yeah, I don't really think there's too much of a drop off.
And then we also have Dawson Knox back, which will be huge for the offense.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, even though Tyler Croft played well.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
Game changer.
Yeah, but you know what? He brings a little bit more athleticism, I feel like.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the actual game. We've gotten that stuff gone. If you're John Gruden, how do you what's your game plan going into this? Because I know what I would do.
Personally, I would do the same thing that the Rams did, and that's just punish the ball up the middle on our defense. I think the Raiders will do that offensively, but defensively, if you want to stop our offense, and this is what I think is more important, is you need to rush up the middle, get Josh moving outside, because like as many good plays he made outside the pocket scrambling, he made a ton of errors, especially with intentional grounding or getting sacks and just making wild throws and plays. So it's a risk because he's so wild that those are some of his best and his worst plays. But I think it's worth it to just, bum rush the middle, just like Aaron Donald was just causing havoc up the middle. You gotta find somebody to do that.
Yeah, no, I agree. As far as offensively for John Gruden, I mean, how can you watch last week's tape and not want to just pound it up the middle every single play? So I think that's exactly what I would do until they stop it. And the Bills didn't show that they could stop Darrell Henderson last week against the Rams. So. And then the same goes offensively for the Bills, I think. The Bills need to pound the rock, too. So the Patriots just ran the ball for 250 yards against the Raiders. And Rex Burkhead had 3 touchdowns, 2 rushing. And, I mean, they just pounded the rock. And I think if you're getting a healthy we didn't mention it, healthy Zach Moss back this week, I would just say pound the rock. I know Sony Michel ripped off 2 40-yard plus runs.
Totally agree. That was one of the reasons I felt like we let the Rams back in the game last week, was not more passes than running. Just such a disconnect there with
and we were up. Yeah, I texted you it. I was going through the game book and I counted 3 Singletary runs from the time they were up 28-3 to down 32-28.
Yeah, I mean, what?
3, and one of them was a penalty, so only 2.
I don't understand. I mean, I love how Josh is playing, but it's at some point it's got to cool off a little bit,
Yeah.
And it's we need to develop Singletary. You know what I mean? We're developing Josh, but you have to develop the run game.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta give
Need a
Singletary
balanced
the
attack.
touches. Yeah, I mean, Josh is getting all these great, like he's making these plays. He's getting the ability. He hits the ball every play. But how are we supposed to expect Singletary to develop like into a, featured back if he doesn't get the ball enough? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's one of my things.
So obviously we played 3 games. Singletary only has 32 carries.
Yeah.
That's just over 10 a game, averaging out, and he only has 157 rush yards. Like the guy should have. I mean, you and I think he should have 20 carries a game. I really do.
I think he should at least have 20 carries a game. I think Zach Moss should have at least 10 to 15 carries a game too.
Yeah.
I don't see why we can't get the production out of Josh out of like 30 throws instead of like 40 throws.
Yeah. I mean, I like that we're throwing it and that we have that option, but I don't know. I don't know that it's sustainable. So I think this will be a great opportunity for the Bills to run the ball down the Raiders' throats like the Patriots did, get that run game going, finally kick it off, and then, win the time of possession, slow the game down a little bit. Because if Josh Jacobs is pounding the ball down defense's throats, you definitely want to keep them off the field as much as possible. Yeah. Give them time to rest. They're not, blowing a lead.
I'm going to say Devin Singletary has 20 carries for 95 yards. And then Josh Allen, he's going to be 22 for 32 with 285 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 running touchdown.
I love it.
Yeah, I don't think he breaks 300. I think he cools off a little bit, but we don't have a problem winning.
See, as I say, they need to pound the ball. I could also see them. Dable just likes doing what Dable likes to do. Like he doesn't give a crap about this balanced attack, obviously, because he hasn't ran the ball at all. Like for comparison, and granted, the Raiders are a run-heavy team, but Josh Jacobs has 68 carries compared to Singletary's 32.
But you know what? This is the one thing. If you're gonna have trust in your offensive coordinator, have 100% trust in him. Don't let him do what he's gonna do, and then if he has a game plan, let him call it during the game. It's just like a quarterback psyche. Don't mess with the offensive coordinator. Like he's got his plan.
Calling it great.
Yeah, and I mean, it's working.
Aside from the lack of runs when they were winning, but
yeah, but I feel like as a Bills fan, man, last year we were kind of saying the same thing. Like, why aren't we running it as much? And Josh wasn't playing as well, so. Yeah. I mean, Josh is just playing that much better, and I think it's just kind of playing into what Dabble was hoping that he would get to eventually. So,
yeah, I mean, listen, whatever he's doing, it's working. I'm not going to critique the guy too much. If he wants to throw the ball all over the Raiders defense, by all means, go ahead. Get Josh Allen that MVP. Just get him 4 touchdowns a game every game for the rest of the season.
I've officially put money down for him to win.
You did?
MVP. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, he's plus 1,000, but I put $12 down. So.
Oh wow! Really breaking the bank.
Yeah, really breaking the bank. Yeah.
Love it.
Final score predictions.
Yeah, let's get to these predictions. For my predictions, I originally, when we did this game with One Before I Die, we keep alluding to, I said they would be 3-0 going into this game, and then they would cool off, and somehow this is like a trap game. I said it would be a trap game. While I could see it being a trap game, I don't think the Raiders have as much talent as the Bills, and there's no reason why the Bills shouldn't come out and win this. So I'm going to give them a big dub. I'm going to go 34-23. Bills win. It's not close. There's no, we're not sweating it out in the final minutes. I think Josh Jacobs is going to get his carries for sure. I know that they're going to pound the rock with him. But I'm not scared of Derek Carr. I think the secondary, I think the defense picks it up. I think McDermott is chewing them out right now after their performance last week and so far this season. So if everyone's healthy, healthier, as healthy as they can be, I think they can pull out a big dub.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I like the big score difference. I think the Bills are going to blow them out. I'm going to go with 42-21. I say we beat them by 3 touchdowns. I mean, we were up 28-3 at halftime with the Rams. If we had that same mojo coming out,
We are on the road though now.
Yeah.
We're traveling.
42-21. You heard it here first.
I like it.
Score game.
I like it. I mean, realistically, that's what it should be. They
should
with all
crush
these
these guys.
injuries they have, dude. There's nobody on the outside. I mean, Zay Jones and Hunter Renfrow are the best receivers. And Hunter Renfrow is a great player, but
Hunter Renfro's on my fantasy team.
yeah, Hunter Renfrow's a baller. And
He's the next Julian Edelman.
Darren Waller is also a baller too. But as long as we have Milano back, I feel safe about Waller. And then, I mean, Renfrow like will get his touches, but you can't be like, dude, I'm so scared of Hunter Renfrow this week. It's like
He's literally Julian Edelman. Like he's gonna get 7 to 8 catches.
right. You'll get
And
those
it's just
third
you're not gonna
downs.
it's gonna be like those out routes. So yeah. 42-21. Nobody circles the wagon like the Buffalo Bills.
Book it. All right, that's going to do it for this preview. Make sure you stay tuned with us all week. We will have a recap coming out. I think we're going to try to do it Sunday night again. I really like that. Even though this is a later game, we'll still try to get it out then.
Yeah.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.